Hi, I'm James Brown with Amp Tweaker. Today I'm going to show you a TightBoost demo. This is a new pedal that we just finished, which is based on the Tight Drive, but it has a lot less gain and is more of a clean boost kind of a product. So not quite clean, but it has a little bit of a grit to it. Anyway, I'm playing this through an American Standard Strat, and I'm using a Classic 30. First I'm going to be on the clean channel, and then halfway through the demo I'm going to switch over to the lead channel to show you what that does. Let me get the video ready here. So there's just the clean tone. And then here's just straight up on all the knobs. Okay, so basically it just has a little bit of a boost. A little bit tighter. And then of course, just like the Tight Drive, you can dial in how tight the attack is. Whether it's real loose and floppy or very tight and chimey. Or this more loose or floppy. I've got the Classic 30 set barely breaking up the power amp, so you get to hear some of that when I kick this thing up. Okay. Here's a kind of flat with just a little of grit, and then if I turn this boost up, you can see I can start really barking the power amp. But if I turn the guitar down, it's very clean. I can also use these tone controls to do some tweaking of the guitar, essentially. Like if I want it to sound a little bit more humbuckery, I can turn this mid boost up. And get a little bit more of that vintage humbucker sound. Versus so that's kind of cool. This mid control is very interesting in the fact that as you turn it up higher and higher, it gradually blends in a wah sound, kind of a parked wah. I took one to Nashville to the Amp Expo, and I let people help me design the frequency centers for that wah. So here's the lower setting, and I'm going to turn the wah up, the mid up all the way so you get to hear this. Now, to really emphasize it, you could turn the highs down more. The point here is not to make it sound like a wah, but to sound more like you've got the wah pedal sitting in one position, which is a very common way to boost the amp. Okay, here's the same thing with the switch set to the higher position. And you can see it's quite a bit. Just for some really interesting tones, you don't have to use it as a boost per se. You can just use it to get some really different sounds out of a guitar like this Strat, for instance. So here's back to just setting it kind of clean with a lot of boost. Here's the guitar turned down. now I'm going to switch over to the lead tone and show you what kind of stuff you can do with that. Here's the classic set on the lead, and I've just got the gain about halfway up. So you can still tell it's a Strat, you know. And then here's the same straight up setting on the boost. If you just want more of that, kind of spiky, so I can turn this high down a little bit. And then you start getting more like what it would sound like if I just added another tube in your amp, because normally you would roll off a little bit of highs on that stage. But as you can see, this is less of a mid boost kind of a product and more of a full range kind of a driver. So it's more designed to not change your guitar tone as much, but really just beat up your amp kind of hard. Here's the tight turned down low, so it doesn't affect the low end as much. You hear how it's still kind of floppy on the attack. And then here it is with it tightened up. And that's on the neck pickup, so it's still pretty chunky. Okay, now let me show you the parked wah sounds, which are particularly cool when you're going into a lead tone. You don't need so much boost now because you do get some boost out of this mid. And the tight and the high really affect how much of the wah kind of sound. The less highs you get, there's kind of a woman tone. This is without it. And here's with it. Now I'm just on the bridge pickup of a Strat, so that's pretty humbuckery sounding, plus with that wah boost kind of a tone. And then here's the same kind of sound with the wah kicked up to the higher frequency. A lot of guys use EQs to boost the upper mids like that, just to make a solo kind of cut through. So you just get more of that kind of in-your-face squawk tone. And then here's like not changing your tone much, but just beating the crap out of your amp. And obviously you can still tell easily that that's a Strat on a bridge pickup. Let me knock some of that edge off of it a little bit, and I'll go a little fatter, a little more mid. Nice thing about that setting is you can hear it cuts through when you hit it harder. If I play soft, it's pretty laid back sound. And there it is, TightBoost by Amp Tweaker.